Your thoughts?
What? What? Who?
Nice.
Good morning. Man, what's going on with my microphone? Give me a second here. Hold on here. Good morning. There we go. Man, there we go. 9:02 is the time on this Wednesday morning, and we're going to get through it today. I'm looking a little bit rough, and I apologize. Just a little bit not too feeling too hot, but we got 2 hours of a good show to get to. We're going to be talking to Halpin Music in just a couple of minutes and learning a little bit more about some really great opportunities that they have coming our way. And, you know, really cool just to hear more from Halpin and a community staple. Then around 9:45, we're going to be talking to Lacey McDonald for our weekly dose of This Week in Local History. Around 10:10, we're going to be having some really good conversations with the Troy Chamber of Commerce, and we're going to learn more about this barbecue event that is being put on to help the Shriners Foundation. That comes your way at 10:10 and 10:30. At 10:50 today, we're going to be talking to Dan Morelli and Mark Harmon for all the details regarding Fosterfest as well. That comes your way in the next 2 hours. But in the meantime, here's what's happening around the Riverbend. Make sure you sign up for your daily email update, and you'll never miss out. You can join myself and 70,000 people that are in the know each and every day of the work week and on Saturdays with Around the Riverbend. We'll take you to Jersey County first. 4 individuals have been charged with stealing more than $500 worth of telephone wires from AT&T in Jersey County. Danielle Dickman, 44 years of age, of Bunker Hill. Andrew Hufard, 38 years of age, of Jerseyville. Adam Sieb, 34, of Grafton. And Sylvia Wedding, 40 years of age, of Dow. Each face Class 3 felony counts of theft. According to court documents, the theft occurred on the 16th of May. All 4 were granted pretrial release and issued summons to appear in court on August the 6th. The charges based on probable cause, and all individuals considered innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Here in Alton, James H. Killian Park has recently been awarded an $81,233 grant from the Metro East Park and Recreation District for a significant restoration project. Additionally, the Village of Bethalto secured a $300,000 grant for developing the Irwin Plague multi-use path. In total, $11.4 million in grants were distributed across Madison and St. Clair counties, enhancing public recreation, health, and local economies. Other notable grants include $66,604.51 for Edwardsville's Schwartz Street shared use path and $86,426 for Pontoon Beach's Jamie Lynn Pagano Memorial. The coordinator, Cole Preston, expressed optimism about the positive momentum these projects will bring to their respective communities, and we'll keep you updated on the progress of all of those specific projects. In the news today, Anna Reneshi, 39 years old from Gillespie, has launched a GoFundMe campaign to fulfill her final wish of visiting the Tennessee mountains. Facing liver failure and stage 5 kidney failure, she hopes to make the trip at the end of August, and she shared, quote, "I have not been on vacation or traveled in over 17 years due to my medical issues." Her medical team is arranging dialysis treatments close to her lodging in Tennessee. The donations will cover travel, lodging, and related expenses, with any remaining funds going towards funeral costs. She hopes to visit Dollywood and explore the terrain of the Tennessee mountains, and there's a link on the RiverBender.com article that will take you to that GoFundMe for Anna. In the news today, a Jerseyville man, David T. DiChiarilia, 52 years of age, has been charged with domestic battery after allegedly striking a family member with a stick on the head, causing a laceration that required 3 staples. The incident occurred on July the 14th. DiChiarilia, who had a prior protective order against him, allegedly made threatening statements to the victim and suicidal remarks to the arresting officer. The victim filed an order of protection against DiChiarilia on the 15th of July. He remains in custody at the Jersey County Jail with an arraignment set for July the 29th. Also in the news today, Living in the Light Ministries is founded by Dr. Christy Lemley, is concluding its Ablaze tour across the Riverbend region. Ablaze services aim to bring the community together to worship, share testimonials, and pray. The tour includes stops in Jerseyville on July the 26th and in Grafton on July the 27th. Edwardsville will be attended on August the 2nd and Granite City on August the 3rd. A final stop at the Alton Riverfront Amphitheater takes place on August the 4th. Lemley emphasized the importance of these services in offering peace, hope, and a sense of community, especially in today's isolated world. For more details, you can visit ablaze.global or email Christy@ablaze.global to start your journey and learn more about the work they're doing in the organization today. At 9:07, man, it looks like we lost some internet somewhere in our server. At 9:07, let's take a quick look at your weather forecast. Currently, an air quality alert has been issued yesterday at 3:32 by the National Weather Service of St. Louis and the Clean Air Partnership. They issued this air quality alert for the St. Louis metropolitan area from 10 a.m. until 8 p.m. today, Wednesday. An orange air quality forecast means that maximum ozone concentrations are expected to reach levels that pose health risk. Adverse health effects increase as air quality deteriorates. Ground level ozone is an air contaminant which can cause breathing difficulties for children, older adults, as well as persons with respiratory problems. Reducing outdoor physical activity is recommended. If it is a regularly scheduled workday, you are urged to consider telecommuting, carpooling, or utilizing public transit. Avoid excessive idling and do not top off when refueling motor vehicles. The use of gasoline-powered lawn equipment should be reduced or postponed until late in the day. For more information, you can visit the Clean Air Partnership at cleanairstlouis.com. And for current air quality index values, you can go to airnow.gov. Right now it's 78 degrees in the 618. It feels like 90 out there. We're going to get some weather today. Today, clouds and sun with a thunderstorm in spots throughout the Metro East this afternoon. Tonight, partly cloudy, and it will be humid. Currently, the air quality not as bad, ranked at good at 44. However, that alert has been issued by the Clean Air Partnership. The grass levels are low, mold is low, ragweed is low, the tree levels are low, and the UV index is very high. There is a 40% chance of thunderstorms this afternoon. A high of 89 degrees awaits us, and a low of 68 is what we will encounter overnight as we head into Thursday. On Thursday, a high of 86 degrees, a 40% chance of thunderstorms, and a low of 66 degrees. On Friday, a high of 84, a low of 65, and on Saturday, a high of 83 degrees, a low of 69 degrees. On Sunday, a 90% chance that you and I are going to see thunderstorms, a high of 86, a low of 69 degrees. That's a look at your weather forecast throughout the day. You can call 618-465-4545 or visit RiverBender.com/weather to stay up to date through the digital side. Hey, before we take a break and I send you to Skycam, are you joining in on a band or an orchestra? Well, you can be an early bird. Halpin Music Company makes back to school easy because they have everything you need to truly get started, from simple instrument rental, plus the best selection of instruments, and that free method book. You have to mention the ad on RiverBender.com, but listen, folks, they've been professionals and in local business since 1961 and have helped generation after generation of families get started on their musical journeys or even enhance it. Stop by and don't forget to tell them that Riverbender sent you over their way. Speaking of helping, we'll be talking to them right after this break. But if you click on that Riverbender wallpaper, it will take you right over to their website where you can get started and you can be that early bird ahead of all the school fun that's getting ready to hit us right in the nose in just a few short weeks. For more information, click on the RiverBender.com wallpaper or go to halpinmusic.com. That's halpinmusic.com, and don't forget to tell them that you know who sent you over their way. Let's take a look at Skycam, if we can, because kind of without internet down here, I think. We'll find out, though, right after this on RiverBender.com.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trunked. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Welcome to Evergreen Place, a community that embodies joyful living, independence, and financial freedom for seniors. If you're looking for a full day of activities or to relax in your apartment, we have you covered. Located on the Alton Memorial Campus. To know us is to love us. Experience the difference at Evergreen Place.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you've worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
In the heart-pounding moments of the game, every move counts, just like in chiropractic care. Dr. Andrew Dykman of Rosewood Chiropractic champions this belief, supporting our teams in every drive and supporting his patients for nearly 20 years, offering affordable, compassionate, all-natural wellness care. Call 618-259-2676 or visit rosewoodchiropractic.com today. Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ. $9:16, a little bit of change on this. Is it Wednesday? Oh, man. Long one. I'm telling you. We got Mark and Kelsey helping music in studio, and this is really cool. How are we doing today, guys?
Oh, we're good. Very good. Thank you.
Happy to be
good.
Yeah.
Well, you know, is it humid outside yet? Is it hitting? Getting there?
It'll get there, yeah.
We're getting there today, but you know what? You can be an early bird at Halpin Music. This is really exciting. You know, right off the bat, how are things going at Halpin?
Going good. We're gearing up for our busy time of the year, which is coming. You know, school's just right around the corner. So this is a time of preparation and, you know, just getting everything in place for those kiddos to go back to school and join the band and orchestra and whatever their musical interests are.
Well, and it seems like, you know, when we start talking about getting back into school, especially those last couple of weeks of summer, all the kids start talking about the activities they're going to start to pursue. And, you know, then you surprise your parents the day of school starting and say, I want to be in band this year, you know? Right. And this is really cool how you guys do this. I'm going to be honest. I had no idea that you guys did these types of rentals. What's the best way to kind of go through this and relay this to the audience? Because I'm looking, I mean, instrument rentals are made simple at Halpin Music.
Right. Well, we've been doing this type of thing for, since Halpin Music has been here.
Really?
So, I mean, that was 1961. So we've been renting instruments pretty much the same way since then. I mean, the form and the details have changed a little bit as time has passed, but essentially we've always been about making it as easy as possible for the parent to get a low-cost quality instrument for their child to start the band. Well, and so that's what our simple instrument rental is all about, and that's what we've offered now for many, many years.
Well, and honestly, you know, something that not a lot of people think about is just what you said, a quality instrument for your child, because that can get pretty pricey, you know?
Well, that too. And you know, the other dynamic there is true as well. You can buy a pretty cheap piece of junk online too,
or at Walmart.
Or a Walmart. You know, I don't pick on Walmart too much, but you know, in this internet age, you can buy virtually anything online, including musical instruments. So, you know, the thing that we've always tried to you know, to inform our customers and to let them know that great deal that they found online is not going to be such a great deal if the instrument doesn't last, or if they find themselves in a position where something breaks and they can't get a repair, you know, a part for it because they just don't make them. Whereas the instruments that we sell and rent are instruments that have been in the marketplace, are made by reputable manufacturers, and are designed to last the average student all the way through high school and beyond, if that's what they want to do.
This is really cool. And now, take me through how this works. I know that this is broken up into 3 groups for the different types of instruments that are available just
Right.
on the site here. So take me through groups A, B, and C if we could, and going through those different options.
Well, you want to jump in?
Sure.
Kelsey, nice to hear from you.
Hi. Group A seems to be the most common group that we see. That's $30 a month, or you can do $216 for the full school year. That does include our maintenance plan, so if something does go wrong with the instrument, if something breaks, if something needs repaired, that is covered. And then part of that price is also being put back towards rental credit that you can use towards the purchase of the instrument eventually, if that's what you decide to do.
Really cool. So it's a really good, honestly, a great opportunity for a parent too to know, hey, if your child's really interested in the instrument and really picking it up. They can have some alleviation from that initial price point of the instrument.
Right, and that's the whole idea is that, we know that, experience tells us that not every kid is going to succeed at this, okay? So...
You should have heard my half-brother.
It's designed for, for anything within that spectrum. If the child plays for a few months and is like, this is just not for me, it's easy. You just bring the instrument back, contract's canceled, no worries. But if the kid does take to it, and a lot of them do, this allows the parent a way to build equity to buy a good instrument for them to use as long as they want to play it.
This is really cool. And I also see that there's weekly pickup and delivery to the school.
Right.
Yeah, we have a road rep who goes to the schools once a week to pick up repairs, loaners, and we'll deliver them back to the school as well.
Right.
So that way the parent's not driving back and forth if Johnny broke his flute again or you name it, you guys take care of that.
And sometimes the instrument, breaks. The first one that's going to know about that is the band teacher, okay?
Yeah.
If they're practicing and something happens, then, we have someone that's there and that stops there and can take care of the logistical aspects of all of that.
Well, and honestly, so many times, not so many, but there's times where a child, I'm sure, is scared to tell their parent, hey, I just broke the...
we found that's true quite often. But, the parents will understand that that's why the maintenance program's built into that rental.
Yeah.
The child may not understand that, but the parent can rest secure in knowing that if something does happen, we've got it taken care of. We'll pick it up. We have 2 long-time, experienced, trained repair techs that can take care of the problems and get the instrument back to the school with a minimum of downtime.
Well, I love the 2 options that you guys give too with this monthly and yearly option because, it's going to be different for everybody. And, some parents might not be able to pull out the $216 right away or the $360. But there's still an option for everybody to have this same opportunity.
They're just not sure
if they're going to continue to
stick it out for the whole year.
It's like, listen, son, you wanted to do swim team, and now after a day you were done with this. What are we doing now?
Exactly right.
And is there whenever we're talking about just all of these different options, I'm sure that there's a chance for maybe a child doesn't really like the flute. Maybe they want to try the clarinet. Are there exchanges available in this?
Yes, you can swap out inventory at any time. If they change their mind, say, hey, my friend Sally plays the clarinet, I want to try the clarinet. You can swap that out at any time, and it doesn't change anything unless you move to a different group.
That's really cool.
Exactly right.
When you're talking to parents about this, what are their thoughts about? Are they kind of surprised that there is such a unique opportunity there to make sure every child can play music?
Well, I think it's just something that they don't really consider or even think about until that need arises, and then they're like, well, where do we start with this? So our aim is to be able to inform them and very simply put them in a spot where the deal's done. They've got an instrument for their child, and it really is pretty painless.
All the stress is out of it.
Yeah.
And now, throughout the school year, I'm sure I couldn't even begin to imagine the ballpark here, but if you could ballpark the amount of families that you're working with throughout a school year.
Oh my gosh. It's really hard to say.
I couldn't imagine.
Hundreds.
Because, I mean, there's not a lot of opportunities to know that you have a trusted, reliable spot for your music instrument needs, because online I look at things and I don't know nothing about music instruments, and I'm sure that there's 90% of parents out there that are like me. And so when you talk with folks, how important is the education process on what to look for in a good instrument and the quality
Well,
there?
it is very important. And I think, I'm pretty old school. I've been in helping music since 1980, okay?
Wow.
So, back, before internet was even, an idea, I was trained to really count on and lean into the personal relationships, the face-to-face, talking to them, building trust with them, informing them on the things that they need to know, and try and sift out the stuff that's not really that important, so that they know, that they're making an educated decision about something that's very important for the child. And the internet obviously has changed that a great deal. We all like to go to this, first and foremost to get an answer to a, hey Siri, and there's a lot of information out there, and some of it is accurate and true, and some of it is not. So.
Well, you know what I thought was funny, and this is kind of a tie-in. I always wanted to play an instrument, but I can barely, I can barely play the computer keyboard, So I was looking one day and said, what would be a good starter guitar? Okay, and Google decided to tell me that some type of Martin would have been the best way, but it's a pretty expensive piece of equipment.
Well, you're starting, you're learning how to drive with a Cadillac.
Right. And that's why I'd rather go into you guys, because as a parent, I'm sure little Johnny's going to show you that Martin, or show you the state-of-the-art acoustic, but there's could be a better, more cost-affordable option.
There really, really are. In this day and age, we talk about, where we live in a culture that's, kind of about disposable things,
Right.
And that's true to some extent, but you've got to, in a situation, in a pursuit like this, you need something that's going to last the child, and it's going to sustain and withstand, because these instruments are designed to withstand. The child really doesn't know how to care for it yet. Really doesn't know how to properly do things, and then these instruments are designed to do and to withstand those things, and if something does happen, well, we've got the means to take care of that as well.
What is the most wild repair that you guys have had to do on one of these instruments?
Well,
probably a complete restoration of some kind.
Well, true. I mean, we've seen, and I've been around a long time, so I can tell stories.
Yeah.
I literally go on forever.
I bet I could only imagine this.
Where the one that comes to mind immediately is, the guy that walked out to the bus stop with his saxophone, and set it right down there at the edge of the. Bus driver got a little too close, and
no,
crunch. So yeah, or the other one is the little toddler that got a hold of sister's flute and wanted to see if it would float in the fish tank.
Oh no. So you guys have pretty much encountered it all.
Yeah, it didn't float in the fish tank. It kind of ruined the pads.
Well, I just think that's what makes, your program so unique, and really it shows the importance of it, because, that conversation goes a little bit differently when they know that, they're a part of something that I'm sure that's a little bit different when you're getting your instrument obliterated by your bus. But whenever little Sally throws a flute in the fish tank, going, it's bad, but it's not the end of the world.
It's not the end of the world. We can deal with that.
Wonderful. Kelsey, what's your favorite part about being at Halpin?
Well, I really like the part where we get to educate students and parents about music and the instruments and show them how to care for the instruments.
Right. We haven't even talked about our lesson program.
Yeah, we do have a great lesson program. Yeah. We offer lots of lessons in different areas, great instructors, and it's really affordable.
Well, and that's what's cool to hear. And let's touch base on that here after a quick break. Yeah. But I think it's really cool to know that there's a place, because we always hear things about sports, and we're a sports family in mind, but to know that there's a spot that you can get some great reps, you can train with, train in your musical instrument with some of the best people around, and know that there's really a hub for this in the community, again, is just amazing. So at 9:30, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back with more with Mark Kelsey, Halpin Music. Band and orchestra instrument rentals are available. The early bird process is started. You can go to halpinmusic.com/instrument rental to get started today, or just keep hanging out with us and learning more about the benefits that await you.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
RiverBender Radio has built 3 great new stations just for you in the Riverbend. The Eagle, the Riverbend's classic rock station. The Bridge, hit music for the Riverbend. And The River, today's country, and all your favorites. Check them out today at RiverBenderRadio.com.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Hot town, summer in the city, back of my neck getting pretty.
9:33, welcome back. It doesn't even feel like summer this last week. It's been nice.
Well, since the monsoon.
Yeah, oh my goodness. I'm telling you what, you've never seen somebody drive as fast, because I knew I have a dirt basement, and I knew I was in trouble. I knew the moment I saw the gates of hell open up on our skies that we were in deep trouble.
Oh my, yeah. There were a lot of people that suffered that day.
Oh man,
it was
just terrible.
It was.
And we were talking during the break, and Kelsey, you're a little bit of a savant when it comes to the music lesson program over at Halpin Music. Fill me in.
I am one of the lessons administrators there, so I deal with the billing and scheduling, and I'm also the violin instructor as well. Our lesson program is really great because we've got good quality instructors that care about the students and their progress. A lot of our instructors put on recitals and things like that, and they have a lot to offer.
Really cool. Well, when you guys put on recitals, are they open to the public to attend? Are they private or?
They're typically open to the public.
If they're open to the public, let us, and I'll add them to the calendar because I want more, children to feel empowered by playing music. I mean, definitely.
Absolutely.
What is the most utilized instrument? I just heard you say something about the Big Five. Is there a frequently used instrument for?
Well.
Or a go-to?
Well, in terms of if we're talking about lessons strictly, probably the two ones that come to mind first for someone are piano and maybe guitar.
Guitar, yeah.
In terms of, hey mom, I want to play guitar.
Yeah.
Or grandma is insistent that you learn how to play piano. So, but that's kind of a starting point, and those, particularly piano, will lead. Will generally a student will learn a lot of things that are helpful even if they pick up another instrument later.
I was going to ask you that because I've heard and by the way, no musical genius at all. That's why I talk into a microphone.
We won't hold that.
But I've heard that where if you can really pick up, is there a core some core lessons that you can learn from any instrument that you play?
Yeah. Generally speaking, if you just really want to get a basic understanding on, say, a violin, well, you can do that. In just a few lessons, you can have a basic working knowledge of how to play a violin or play Three Blind Mice on the violin. You can probably do that. Or what is it, Hot Cross Buns? I think is
Well, no, is a viola harder to learn than a violin?
They're probably about the same in difficulty. Viola reads a different clef than violin, so the notes on the staff are in different places. But as far as technique, we're pretty much the same.
Really cool. And just getting it, because when I was a kid, this is bad, not really, but I guess it's bad. I was 8 years old, and my first real movie I watched was The Godfather, and ever since then I was 8, and I wanted to play the viola,
Yeah.
Well, and now with your music lessons, do they encompass every instrument you can really kind of think of at that young at those levels?
Well, I think the major ones, like I said,
yeah,
piano and guitar, and then violin
and woodwinds. We offer
woodwinds,
trumpet,
drums, and percussion.
Wow.
We have a fellow that teaches trumpet lessons. So. It kind of covers a pretty full spectrum.
And with this, is it? Do you have group lessons at all, or are these all private?
Well, what we offer, our main offering is private lessons. Although I think we're kind of in the process of expanding into a group lesson environment as well.
It's in the works.
We've kind of realized that might kind of open the door to a group of people that may not really be into a one-on-one environment.
Yeah.
Maybe being in a group setting might be more their thing. So we are in the process of getting some things started.
I'm glad I looked at that crystal ball in the commercial break. I thought, what can I foresee coming here? No, Kelsey, whenever someone starts in music, and just in your experience with the violin lessons and working with them, I'm sure there's a crisis of confidence when someone starts this, and it's like the mountain is monstrous, and how are we going to get to feeling comfortable playing? In your experience, and honestly, I'll leave this an open-ended for you as well, Mark. How long does it take for a student of yours or any kind to really get some sort of base foundation for that instrument?
Really depends on how much they practice.
Well, that's true.
But it can take a little while, but if they're determined and if the teacher is there for them, then it can't take too long.
I mean, I can speak for myself. When I started on the trumpet, we won't talk about how long ago that was. In the band, at school, the school band, and the first month or so, it was really kind of a grind, go home and practice your 20 minutes a day, blah, blah, blah. And I was really kind of struggling with it. I went back to my band teacher and I'm like, I don't think this is for me. And he's like, and to his credit, he's like, don't give up yet. He's like, stick with it because you'll get to a point. And he was right. A few weeks later, it's like the light switch flipped. It's like, oh, hey, suddenly I could do things and I could play melodies and I could, and had I given up, I would never have known. But, from that, I stuck with it. I played trumpet. I eventually switched to the tuba, in high school. And, it wouldn't have happened had I given up. So you really have to kind of, lean into it, apply yourself.
Trust
and
the
have
process.
a little bit of patience, that it's going to be a struggle maybe at first, but eventually, if you stick with it,
it'll be just fine.
Yeah.
Kelsey, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think the encouragement part of it is very important as well.
Mhm.
With
Yeah.
my students, there's a lot of basics that you have to learn, but my first goal is always get them playing something, because if they can play something at all, then they get excited.
Right.
And if you can get them excited, then they're in.
And that makes total sense. And you were speaking about the drum. I did a music show in St. Louis for about a year and a half on Fridays. And one of the guys' coolest thing, his name's Joe Bosey, and he played at the Playboy Club and with Dizzy Gillespie and all of these guys.
Really?
Oh my goodness, to
Wow,
hear the
there's a
history.
story.
Oh man. But just to hear how important though that type of music was to the region for such a long time. I had no idea the prowess that the Metro East had when it came to this type of work.
Absolutely.
Just
Yeah.
incredible.
This area has a pretty rich musical history if you do your research.
It really does. We had a guy, he's playing at the Blues Festival, and he said, man, I'm such a Miles Davis guy. Do they have anything that has a statue or anything you guys got down there? I go, well, you can go to the statue or you can drive by the plot of land that was his house. I don't know if it's still standing, but, it's just, people. It really is amazing the core that this area holds for such key, musical historical significances. And getting back to this, as we've been already talking for 30 minutes, this is amazing. Group A is $30 a month or $216 a year with flute, clarinet, trumpet, trombone, snare drum kits, percussion bell kit, combination snare bell kit, violin, and viola. I knew some of those. Group B, $50 a month, $360 a year, and Group C is $75 a month and $540 a year. How do you guys come up with those sets? Is it just dependent on the
Basically, just dependent upon the price of the instrument. When you get into Group B, you're getting into instruments like an alto saxophone or a cello or things that have a higher cost. And
makes sense.
So that really is the primary determination.
That's really cool. And what I think's great is that there's something everyone has the opportunity here. It's you aren't excluding any instrument, it looks like.
Absolutely not.
I love this. I mean, I truly do. And how does this work? How does a parent call, sign up, be a part of the program, or enroll in lessons?
Well, I'm glad you asked.
I was getting to that, but I wanted to keep them waiting.
You can actually do all of that online. We've got lesson forms online, rental forms online, and then as soon as you submit those, somebody from our office gives you a call, get you on the schedule or get payment, and we can get all the instruments delivered to the school. Yeah.
Look at this. This is halpinmusic.com, and a little bit zoomed in here, but you can see that's Group A. That's the $216, save 20% if you pay for the full year.
Right.
And that's how you can sign up for this really cool opportunity for simple instrument rental. Instrument rentals made simple. You'll see it right there. Plus, you'll see the different options for Group B. Group C, you click on Rent Now. It'll take you to another page where you can put your information in and you can take care of it. I just love it. I mean, this is really, really cool. And you guys have done this for how long, Mark?
Well, we've been renting instruments since 1961.
That's incredible. And you know what I think's great is how many times the thousands of people have drove by either location of where Halpin is and just don't realize all the really cool programs and different services that are inside. And, is there anything else that I'm forgetting about, guys, that we need to hit on that we haven't yet?
We also offer repairs, not only for band and orchestra instruments, but for guitar as well.
Oh, really cool.
Our repairs for guitar is pretty extensive as well.
Yeah. And some electronic stuff too,
Mhm.
amps
Yeah.
and keyboards and things like that. And the other thing is just, having been in this business for so long, I've got to say I have a wonderful. I like to try and call myself kind of semi-retired now because truly I have, Kelsey and John and we have two
The other
Kelseys. And Neil and Ben and Tim and Carolyn and Joe. They're all, they're very knowledgeable and very just there to make the experience as wonderful. It's not going to be high pressure. It's not going to be something that you're coerced into. It's going to be you're going to be given the information that you need, and you can make the decision that you need to do.
What I think's really cool too is just hearing about the passion that all of y'all have. Because when you can walk into any store, but if there's the worker there, the employee or the manager isn't really enthused with you and getting you excited and really making the process an event, because it should be fun to go do these things. And I think that's why you guys have been so successful for all these years, is just that passion,
I mean, we truly are your hometown. I mean, we're all here. I mean, we're all locals. We truly are the hometown resource for those types of things.
Yeah, I think we really stand by our motto, which is music for life, and we live by it for sure.
Absolutely.
Can I add something real quick? You guys?
Sure.
Sorry, I had to verify before I went on the air and said something foolish here. I don't know if you all knew this, but Halpin has a Centralia office, correct?
Yes, we do have a location in Centralia.
How many of you were learning that for the first time today? I wanted to know. I hope not very many, but if I'm learning, so many else.
It's possible. We've been down there since 2015.
2015, really cool. I'm telling you, I'm learning a lot today, Mark and Kelsey, and I hope that you guys are too. Get started. I mean, you know that your child's going to come up to you the day after school starts and say, well, I've been wanting to do this for all summer. I told you 40 times. They didn't, but you don't have to worry about it when you can just call Halpin Music
or go online.
Go to the website, RiverBender.com, and go on that simple instrument rental tab or the music lessons tab. Fill that form out, and you're getting going with your trusted, true, and local hometown music store. That's Halpin Music. Learn more, RiverBender.com. Guys, thank you so much for your time today.
Hey, thank you for having us on today. It's been a pleasure.
Oh, no problem. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we got Lacey McDonald, Hainer Library, and This Week in Local History 100 years ago. We'll find out what we're talking about next.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Riverbender Radio has built 3 great new stations just for you in the Riverbend. The Eagle, the Riverbend's classic rock station. The Bridge, hit music for the Riverbend. And The River, today's country, and all your favorites. Check them out today at RiverBender.com.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ. Yeah, we're coming on now. Sorry, I just needed to ask a few topical. You weren't helping music. Hold on here. Under the weather, Lacey, and not feeling too hot today. Making some bad decisions. So Lacey McDonald is in studio because 100 years ago, the potato chip industry discontinued.
In Alton.
Yes.
Yes. It came back. Don't worry.
Oh, man. What a crisis. So
the ebbs and flows of potato chip history.
I love this. So how do we start? Because we were just talking. I didn't realize people used to make this stuff in their home.
Yeah, people used to make potato chips. The photo at the top of the article, and y'all can see if you go on RiverBender.com and look at the potato chip article.
Or I can just show them.
Or you can just show them. Okay, so this is from a... it was a pamphlet, really, that came out from the government printing office. Like, this is a Washington, government printing office publication from 1922 called Methods of Manufacturing Potato Chips, and it told you how to make potato chips in your home. There's a link to it on the article. But yeah, so this woman, this is not Nell Johnston, who we're talking about in the article, but this is an example of what you would be doing at home to make your own potato chips.
Not to cut you off.
No, that's okay.
I gotta mention something.
Yeah.
People go on a blog today to look up recipes or, how do you cook something. Mm-hmm. Could you imagine? I mean, just what you said. In 1924, if I wanted to learn how to make a potato chip and I didn't know, I'm going to my library and I'm getting a book or I'm finding some type of article or magazine that has that information. That's amazing.
You know what? It was also, this is one of the things I've kind of learned about. There were so many clubs. One that I'm going to talk a tiny bit about next time, and then maybe more in the future, is the Alton Horticultural Society. Like, people would meet and then talk about the best ways to grow blackberries.
Yeah.
And so a lot of it might have been that one person had this potato chip publication, or maybe it was at the library and you could go look at it. But and then everybody would kind of share information together in person, whereas now we just go look up Google how to make potato chips and try to figure it out ourselves.
Oh man, what's funny though is I wouldn't last because I'd have to take notes on everything people say to me because I forget half the time what conversation I had, let alone remembering pertinent details like how long does it have to be in that oil for, or how long does it, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just pick up the phone and call them. I mean,
well, you couldn't even call them at this point.
I mean, it's just amazing to me how our brain had to focus and work back then.
Well, and also it was like a 22-page publication on making potato chips.
Oh, hell no.
You would have had the reference material at home. You wouldn't have had to remember it necessarily.
22 pages.
It was a whole pamphlet. I don't remember.
Are you serious? I love it.
I don't remember exactly how long it was, but there were directions. Well, they were doing all these experiments to figure out what the best potatoes to make potato chips too. So there's a lot that didn't go in the article. If you want to know more about potato chip history than what I have provided, there are links and you can get it all.
Such a thing.
Yeah.
I love this.
I'm learning all kinds of stuff.
So how prevalent was the potato chip industry in Alton, Illinois in 1924?
Well, so in 1923, the year before, almost exactly a year before, Nell Johnston, who I think had just moved here, her husband's family was from the area, but they had just moved back pretty much right before that from Kansas City, maybe. It's all in, well, maybe that part's not on here. It's all in my notes at the library if you want to know what city she lived in before. But came here, and there were ads in the paper like twice a week for the next year. You know, come to Schwegel's Market, get fresh potato chips made by Mrs. Johnston, et cetera, et cetera. And so, yeah, like home cooks would produce the potato chips, take them to the various grocery stores where you could go buy them. And the issue was they weren't easy to keep fresh. So at this time, I think they were mostly sold in like paper bags or barrels. Like you just come get your potato chips out of the barrel, I guess, and like a scoop. And so in 1924, in July 1924, Johnston notified the Telegraph readers, there was an announcement that the industry did not thrive enough to warrant its continuance in Alton. So not enough people wanted potato chips in 1924 to keep producing them, at least for this home cook.
So that is incredible to me. So you just went in, like, you know, it's COVID does this to you. You know, think about all that free popcorn you used to be grabbing. You know,
bars are totally different now.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead and try to stick your hand in a popcorn machine in this day and age, you know, and see who looks at you. It's amazing. So they literally would just, how long, I hate to ask you this, because you know, but how long would these things last out in Schwegel's?
Well, probably not a long time. And I assume, this is me assuming, I assume that like the grocery store proprietor would like scoop out your potato chips for you. But I don't know. That's just guessing.
These are the same people that were still drinking mercury, you know, for medicine. I don't know.
Yeah, it's true. Like I don't know if Coca-Cola had changed its recipe yet.
Also, back when the time when Quaalude was a weight loss drug.
Yeah, you know, we learn over time.
We evolve. Oh man.
So yeah, they didn't last a super long time. That was the other issue. You couldn't get a bag of potato chips and then eat them 2 weeks later. And that's part of why the potato chip industry as a whole didn't really do super well during that time period, because before that it had been more like you go to a restaurant, you get potato chips there. But then in 1926, and this is on the where is this? This is on the Smithsonian Institute website. So they had a great potato chip article.
That's a verified source.
Yeah, verified source. Librarian. I got to give you verified sources.
This ain't a Wikipedia entry, folks.
In 1926, Laura Scudder, who had a family potato chip business in California, closely examined the properties of wax paper and had an idea. She asked her employees to hand iron sheets of wax paper into bags, fill the bags with potato chips, and seal the tops with a warm iron. And so the wax bags kept the potato chips fresher longer. They weren't as easily crushed as they had been in just getting them out of the barrel, I guess. And she's also credited with being the first person to imprint a freshness date on food products in general. So this is just 2 years later. 2 years, you know, Mrs. Johnston just missed the boat on potato chip industry.
She should have hung around.
But yeah, so soon after that, we figured out a better way to do potato chips. And I also love kind of the origin story of potato chips.
So a couple of questions I got for you here.
Okay.
Let's start off with this one. What is the Tater Flake Factory?
The Tater Flake Factory. So the Tater Flake Company of Chicago had this machine that would peel, slice, fry, and then I just push out potato chips. And it was a quick process. There was a propeller rotating the flakes through the oil, and it could make 400 ounces of chips an hour, but which was way more than you can make in your home kitchen.
Yeah.
And at one point, they actually had the machine, I think, in the window of the Telegraph building, so people could come by and see the potato chips
like a tourist attraction.
Yeah.
I love it.
I thought that was really cool. But that was like 1925 when that was happening here, because, and then I found some other articles. Like there was one from the Davenport, Iowa newspaper in 1924 that actually talked about how the machine worked. So I got my information about exactly how it worked from another newspaper in Iowa.
I love it. So the oldest reference to potato chips in the Alton Evening Telegraph is from 1902.
Yes.
But what are these Saratoga chips?
Saratoga chips. So this is what I was mentioning about the origin story of potato chips.
Yeah.
So apparently in the 1950s, I think, 1950s, a man named George Crumb, his original name was George Speck, but he changed it to George Crumb, lived in Saratoga Lake, New York. He was a cook, a chef in the Moon Lake Lodge Resort. And they had a dish then called French fried potatoes, which you cut the potatoes lengthwise, lightly fry them. And so he made these for a customer. The customer sent them back several times complaining that they were too soft and he wanted them to be crisper and they were too thick. And so George Crumb cut them, sent them back. The guy sent them back to the kitchen. And so he finally took a razor blade and shaved them super, super thin, fried them for way longer than he thought would be the right amount, and then just sprinkled a ton of salt over them. Just kind of in defiance, all right, you're going to send this stuff back to the kitchen. You're going to get exactly what you asked for, and you're going to hate it. And the guy loved it. So then other people started asking for these Saratoga chips. And so a couple years later, Crumb opened his own restaurant, and they had a basket of the chips at every table.
I hope this guy was like Rockefeller that was ordering food that day.
So that was actually part of the legend. Was that it might have been it was somebody.
Are you
I think it
serious?
was Vanderbilt.
Are
I think
you
it was Vanderbilt.
serious? I was joking
yeah.
because the way this guy was being, I hate to say it, but an asshole. And I mean, it's I hope he's worth a ton of money.
I think the legend was Vanderbilt, but then they had a couple other ways that it could have happened. Crumb was definitely the person that popularized the Saratoga chips, but it might have also been his sister who created them.
Look at you, Lacey McDonald, with adding a little bit of the packaging in here. Let me take off this lower third here. Let me see here. Look at that.
Yeah, I got that from the Saratoga Chips website. They have some really cool history.
Do they still
there.
make Saratoga? Is that a brand?
They do, yes. It's called originalSaratogaChips.com is the website, but they just have Saratoga chips, and they had this original packaging from the 1800s, I assume.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this company is still around. This is
Yes.
incredible.
Yeah, you can go buy chips that are probably similar to what they were like in the 1800s. I mean, it's like kettle chips, basically.
That's really what they are.
So, yeah.
You know what I always find fascinating, this is a stupid question, is how do people just come up with these ideas on how to cook things?
Well, in this case, they didn't. They were trying to give the customer what they wanted, but also the customer was not being pleasant about it. And then the other possible way that they were invented was that his sister, Crumb's sister, Kate Speck Wicks, who also worked at the Moon Lake Lodge Resort, accidentally dropped a thin slice of potato in hot oil, and George Crumb brought it out, tasted it, and said, we're going to start selling these. So accidents are a lot of ways that things get invented.
That is incredible.
Or defiance, I guess.
I just love this. I mean, this is a wonderful story.
Yeah.
So what is your overview of the chip industry in Alton 100 years ago?
My overview is that it didn't work out as well as it was originally.
We could have been the next Saratoga.
We could have been the next Saratoga. I mean, she said she planned to make Alton famous for her potato chips just as many another city is famous for its products. So we could have been the potato chip capital.
Take a note out of Nell Johnston's page here. You didn't support Nell Johnston in 1923. 2 years later, it was a thriving business because we didn't see Nell Johnston's glory. And that happens all the time.
Yeah.
Think about this. You know, how many businesses I go, that could have been a winner in 5 years.
Well, but she would have needed to come up with the wax paper idea, too. So it's a
That's
little
true.
bit on
that.
her.
You know what? That's true, Nell. That's true. I just wait until I get a relative that calls me today.
I know. Sorry.
Oh, what a conversation, though. So what'd you write about this time around the horn?
So I wrote about flowers in Alton and also strawberries.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Really good. Strawberries.
Strawberries. Yeah. So, okay, it all started this. I've told you that I find articles and then I kind of see where it takes me.
Yeah.
So I mentioned several weeks ago that I had one coming up where it was either going to be about flowers in Alton or about a fire at the automobile dump.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. So I went with flowers and...
Flowers over fire.
Flowers over fire. Well, okay, it got complicated, and maybe I'll end up writing about this again, but it got really complicated because I was trying to like figure out how to explain where the dump was because it got moved several times. And it was, I think it was at the foot of Henry Street at one point. Yeah, like just by the river. Like you would just take all your trash and dump it by the river next to Henry Street.
Oh my God.
And they were like, well, this is unsightly. Let's move it down 2 blocks.
Oh my God.
So I moved it down 2 blocks and it still was unsightly, but was a little bit further down the river. So it wasn't right at the foot of Henry Street. Still by the river though. And so the article that, I can talk about this because I didn't end up writing it. There was a fire and apparently there were fires at dumps a lot, but it was one that didn't go out quickly.
Coined the phrase dumpster fire.
Right. And it was related to the fact that when people couldn't use cars anymore, they could still use a lot of the parts, but the top was useless. So they were dumping the tops of cars in the dump and they caught fire because people were also just throwing whatever out there, probably lit cigarettes and whatever else. And actually, I don't know the history of cigarettes.
Napalm, whatever.
Your extra
TNT that you didn't use to blow up the mine.
Your leftover fireworks.
Yeah.
And so this fire had been going on for several days and they were having trouble putting it out. But yeah, so anyway, I didn't write about that because I couldn't figure out how to explain where the dump was without like making a bunch of maps, and I don't have time.
You know what? It would be interesting to to learn more about when the sewers were actually implemented in the city of Alton, because not a lot of people know that until like 1964 that a lot of our sewer just went right out into that river.
Oh yeah,
Well,
I didn't realize it was 1964. How did you know that?
Because my grandpa owned Rigdon Sewer Service and
cool.
has a little bit of background on it, but he has a whole thing. He told me the whole lineup of it. It's wild.
There are so many things that you just take for granted.
Like, could you imagine? That's why I always never touch that water. I'm like, listen, there is a lot that's been dumped into that river over the years, and that's for the fish to eat and me to not touch. But we should have touched Nell Johnson's chips. We could have been the Alton Chip Company, the Johnston Chip Company.
The Johnston.
Whatever happened to Nell? Whatever happened to old Nellie?
She died like really soon after that, actually. Yeah, she died.
Oh, that's really sad.
In December of that same year. So she didn't even get to see
it's probably a good
chip
thing.
Innovations of
probably a good thing. She probably could have felt bad about it.
She might have. Yeah, she was.
That is so cool though that Schwegel's has such an important spot though.
Yeah, there were a lot of grocery stores that were mentioned in different ads, but I wanted to connect it to Schwegel's because Schwegel's is still here. So I always try to do that. I try to connect whatever I'm researching to now so that you can like feel connected to the past.
What I think's really cool too, if you guys check out Lacey's articles, they're very well written and there's always so many sources in there and you can discover so much more too, and click on one source and then you realize, well, there's an encyclopedia of other information you can find too. Lacey, I'm excited to talk about flowers next week.
Yeah, flowers and strawberries.
We'll see what happens.
Okay.
I grew strawberries once. I tried.
You drew? You grew strawberries?
Sorry, grew, yes, tried.
How many did you get?
0. But it happened. At 10:07 and a little bit of change. Lacey McDonald, thank you for your time today. I am dying. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Taking a quick break, and a daily show on a Wednesday smacks you right in the nose after this.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trunked. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Welcome to Evergreen Place, a community that embodies joyful living, independence, and financial freedom for seniors. If you're looking for a full day of activities or to relax in your apartment, we have you covered. Located on the Alton Memorial Campus. To know us is to love us. Experience the difference at Evergreen Place.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
In the heart-pounding moments of the game, every move counts, just like in chiropractic care. Dr. Andrew Dykman of Rosewood Chiropractic champions this belief, supporting our teams in every drive and supporting his patients for nearly 20 years, offering affordable, compassionate, all-natural wellness care. Call 618-259-2676 or visit rosewoodchiropractic.com today. Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Well, it's alright, even if they say you're wrong. Well, it's alright. Sometimes you gotta be strong. Well, it's alright, as long as you got somewhere to lay. Well, it's alright.
Welcome back. 10-12, a little bit of change on this Wednesday morning. I am telling you what, Don, my sinuses have just knocked me to left. It's a real thing.
It's a real thing.
It's a real one.
Yeah.
How are we doing? It's the first time you've been in studio.
Yes, and we did a little Zoom before.
We did a Zoom.
But I like in studio. This is like the coolest building.
Thank you very. It is, isn't it?
You know, you have a bank safe right around the corner.
Oh yeah, they won't let me touch it. I wanted to put the studio in there. You know, and then But anyway, it's nice to have you in studio.
Yeah,
and
it is.
you know, you're in that Troy, St. Jacob Marine Chamber of Commerce, but in the area next to it, near Belleville, is Bob Heil's place, Heil Sound.
Yes,
with the
Heil
Heil
Sound,
microphones.
absolutely.
I had to go with the Illinois boys.
I love it.
How's
Yeah.
everything at the chamber? Because you
Good.
guys are doing cool. Not to cut you off, but just to give you all a little bit of a backstory. The Troy, Maryville, St. Jacob Marine Chamber of Commerce is just amazing. What you guys have done on your Facebook and social media, I mean, you have become really one of the more prominent chambers in the region.
Well, thank you. Thank you. We, all the chamber directors, we all know each other. And, I always say once you've seen a chamber, you've seen a chamber.
Yeah.
Because everybody's different. Everybody has different needs. We like to say we're educational. We connect. and we provide resources. So we have 400 chamber members who look to us for everything from grant information to information about upcoming events. And we do have several upcoming events. Actually, we are 40 this year.
You're 40?
Our chamber is, well, I'm 59. I'm not going to say 40 because when I said that, you looked at me like, you're 40? So, yes, I'm the chamber's 40. And I've actually been there 24 years of the 40. So, I kind of just love my job. I love it. We have on September 21st, though, we're celebrating 40 years.
That's incredible. How are you doing it?
We're doing it downtown Troy, blocking off a street or two. We have some food trucks, but I learned yesterday we're having an electric car show.
Okay. Yeah. Did you see, I don't know if you saw this, but there was a team from SIUE that's a part of this really cool electric kind of car race across the country, it seems like.
Crazy, isn't it?
Isn't it just nuts what's happening? Do you have any bit of details on how this car show is going to look?
Zero. I'm not going to lie. We all have pieces that we take care of. That is not my area.
I just think that is so cool.
So cool. Yeah. We wanted to be different. So we're having an artisan sort of fair with homemade items and that sort of thing. We didn't want it to be like every other event we do. We do a whole lot of events in a month.
Well, and that's what I think is cool because I've gone through and just kind of looked around on some of the different opportunities that are there. And it seems like there's not a week that goes by that there isn't something for a member of your chamber to really be a part of and do.
Correct. And even if you don't like to network,
yeah,
we have plenty. We just teamed up with Madison County Employment Training, and we're doing a hospitality training, 4 hours. You get a certificate when you're finished. And we have 38 people signed up. Within 2 days, we had 38 people signed up. So you have to find the niche of what your members need. No, not everybody likes to network. Not everybody likes to have education, but they might need my time or they might need a connection. So I think you have to find what your members want.
Well, and I wanted to point out something that I think you guys do so well, and I saw your membership packet that we were talking about kind of went over. Yeah, the menu of services. But what I think is so cool about that is it's not what I was normally used to expecting, where it was almost, the members' participation is what kind of warranted the chance of growth, if that makes any sense.
Sure.
But what you guys do is you provide different products, services. I mean, it's so vast. Can you kind of explain how you develop this? Because this is something I don't see very many developing.
Sure. We decided as a board that the members needed to be able to select what they wanted. And by doing that, if you like networking, you're going to get the email about it and you're going to get a reminder email. If you don't like networking and you don't want that and you tell us that, you might get that general email, but we're not going to target you for something that you don't like. So you get to actually go through and select through the menu. We have a culinary boot camp every other month that you can come to, and we go through every single 74. We have 74 benefits.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So we have, you can have a professional speaker. We have different levels. We have investor levels, but $300 basic membership gets you plenty to start.
That's what I thought was so cool, because I'm not going to lie to you, whenever I saw some of that just initially, because you don't read everything right away, you kind of do this a little bit because you're like, that looks like it's going to cost a lot of money.
Yes.
But it's not.
No.
It is so affordable. And is that just because of how far you've grown as a chamber that you're able to do it at those rates?
Well, you don't want a business not to be able to join because they can't afford it.
Correct. Yeah.
So
right.
you have to make it, and people can buy more if they like. We've had a lot of people move to that investor level, really, because your logo then appears, their logo appears on every single thing that we do, product, Facebook, website, everything. So just imagine you're seeing their logo all the time. That branding is incredible. You can also pay monthly.
Yeah.
The ACH. So if you could pay $25 a month, you could pay $100 a month. You want investor level, whatever you want. So you have to meet with every member to find out what they need.
Well, what I think's cool too is, just from the time that I've known, from being on the show on Zoom and just kind of following you, is the fact that when someone needs help, you truly are there to help. It's not just, let's go ahead and throw out a Facebook post and call it a day, or let's just say we're going to send some emails out and see if we can get it. You really do fight tooth and nail for your members, and how important is it to know that they have an advocate when it comes to being a part of a chamber and not just saying, well, we're a member of the organization.
Correct. Well, we have a wonderful board of directors. We have incredible ambassadors. And of course, we're here today with the Shriners. We partner with them to help them with their barbecue, which they're going to talk about in a little bit. They put a lot of time and effort, and all of their money gets donated. So all of our nonprofits, anybody can call us or come to us and say what they need, and we can take care of them. I mean, we have tons of resources.
Well, and you know what I think so fascinating. I want your your thoughts on this is that there's so many changes in how people can do business anymore, and you know it's getting to a point where gone are the days where you paying $300 a month for someone to write your blog posts and press releases and things like that. And you know something we launched here is called Business AI, where it's like Chat GTP, but you aren't paying monthly; you're paying per token to do all these services. Whenever you're talking with members, have there been a conversation about just some of these nuances in technology the last couple of years, especially? But now with this revolution of AI and how it can really streamline some processes if it's done the right way, and prompted the right way. Have you had those conversations yet?
We have, and I've been using AI really over a year. I try to get at the very beginning of something to try it out to see what
That's
our
what
members.
we did, yeah.
January we had AI training.
Yeah.
So and we have AI training coming back in September. We had Google My Business training. So every month we have a lunch and learn. You bring your own lunch. We provide a professional speaker. We had Google My Business. They were fantastic, and I feel like everybody who left that is going to be able to improve how people find them.
Yeah.
So we are reaching out to whatever is next. I'll tell you what we're doing for our women's conference, Be the Change. It is multi-generational. So we have all the generations, and they were talking about why. So when I do something for my 22-year-old intern, and they think, wow, why did she do that? We're going to help them understand. By the way, yesterday we brought on our 250th chamber intern. 250. I was so, and a triad student at that.
That's really cool.
250 chamber interns.
Well, and what I think is really cool too is the diversity of chamber members that you do have.
Yes.
Because I was looking through, and I know that there's some on your chamber that are a part of the Home Builders Remodelers Association, and some of these. Oh, they're great people.
Yes.
We did a trade student spotlight with them, and it's just what I think is cool is you aren't going and seeing 800 insurance agents. And I'm not saying that as a, but we've all been to B&I groups, and that's a pretty prevalent industry that's covered. Yeah. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you.
We have a very diverse group, and you know, it's come as you are. If you're a painter and you painted all day, I want you to come in your paint outfit. Don't go home and change.
Yeah, don't put on a suit just to come in here.
We're a chicken and beer chamber. That's what I like to call us, because I want you to feel comfortable coming in. Now, I have to tell you that not everyone loves that, and that's okay.
Really?
It's okay, because not everybody is made for our chamber, and we're not made for every business, and we're okay with that. We want people to be happy.
You know, that's another thing, too, is so many times, and I don't know if it's just because of the way that the world's working anymore, we always try to feel like we have to adapt to fit that 1%, you know, to make sure that we can grab the lone holdout so we can all. But we got to stick to our identity of who we are as a company, an organization, as people. How important is that conversation in your chamber whenever you are having your meetings, you are having your engagements, to realize, hey, well, you don't have to bend over backwards just for that 1% that could actually drive off the 99 that are there.
And they will.
Yeah.
And they will drive them off. We have outstanding ambassadors and board members. At our event, they all have a role. So you might have one of ours could be a wall watcher, and they're looking for people by themselves. One could be taking the brand new member around and introducing them. They all have roles, registration, and they do a great job at making sure that everybody's included.
Yeah.
And that's what I think is so important in the world. I mean, start with the world. But, you know, like I said, everybody that's with us has a different need. And I think as a chamber, that's my role.
Yeah. And I was just looking, is this an ICS calendar you all have?
Yes.
Okay. We might have to make sure more of your members get love, and I can borrow that and add it to ours, too, because I want to just make sure everyone has the opportunity here to see it.
We have a great...
wow.
And I'll tell you the most hit page, and when we get our intern again for the fall, we'll fill it up at 810 job opportunities we had. So an intern goes in and adds that. Now our members can, but they're busy. They're running a business.
100%.
So they go in, and we've had over 1 million hits on our website in last year.
That's really cool.
Yeah, well, we work on SEO.
Well, and the thing is, though, that's very large for a chamber. I mean, that is huge. How important is it to keep evolving for your members? Because it seems like some organizations kind of get, I hate to say stuck in their ways, but comfortable being where they are.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't see really too much growth for years on end. For you guys, how important is it to evolve?
It is. And we actually have been talking about talking to some of our legacy members. So many of them have second generations coming up. What do they need from us?
Yeah.
What is what does the legacy member need? And what are the second generation? So we're looking at that. We have some really good new ideas for 25, but we're all about every day. I watch a video every day on learning something, whether that's my iPhone or how to do something. And if I think it's really cool, I'll just share it on my personal site, the chamber site. But we have some very intelligent members too who come in and speak, and you give their time.
Mm-hmm.
We have about 8 professional speakers in the chamber.
Wow.
Yeah, to start with that. So
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Got a moment to stick around real quick?
I do.
Are you looking for a fresh start on the road to recovery? Life free from addiction is possible, and it starts with our friends at Centerstone. Centerstone's a national leader in mental health and substance use disorder treatment for people of all ages. With a commitment to delivering care that truly changes people's lives, Centerstone's dedicated clinicians use evidence-based practices in their treatment programs, meaning the recovery care plan is developed for you based on the latest science. There's so many unknowns on the road to recovery, but one thing you can know for sure is that Centerstone will be that constant guiding force for you on your recovery journey. Addiction can happen to anybody. It's 2024, folks, but the good thing is so can recovery. So start working toward your recovery today by visiting Centerstone online at recoverwithus.org or hang out with Centerstone and myself on the first and last Wednesday of each and every month as we tackle this very important issue. Get over here.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job, there's nothing holding me back anymore.
Dream Home Realty Center. Hey, Sherry.
Talk to me, Dream Team.
We've got Joey.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
We are Phillips 66 Wood River Refinery. We make the fuels that take us to work and our children to school. We make materials and energy products that allow us to stay connected to each other. We care about the quality and safety of our products because we care about the communities we share. Our employees live our values of safety, honor, and a commitment to act as good neighbors where we live and operate. We are Phillips 66. Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ. That's so cool. 1027, welcome back. Now, before we go in any further into the chamber, do you want to preview who we're talking to with Shriners?
John and Gary. and it's the smoke with the kids barbecue, and they're coming up, and I am so excited. I believe this is their debut of an interview and a podcast.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, this is going to be a big event coming up in August. So this is a barbecue competition, correct?
And people are coming from all over the United States, and then they're having and also a I don't say non-professional competition. They'll talk about it, but they have a car show, and it's huge, and it's in Troy, Illinois.
See, now what I think's cool too is, and we're starting to get more and more up that neck of the woods. You'll see some fun news coming up in a couple of weeks about this, but Troy and that area, Dawn, are really growing and just developing in ways that are kind of unprecedented, because it's quick growth and it's secure growth too.
Yes, it's secure growth. Downtown Troy is really coming together. I would say by the end of the year, because we got some construction, because they're putting all the lines underground, but I would say by the end of the year, you want to come visit downtown, and you could come, of course, to our event and see it. But we have Troy hometown hero banners.
Yeah, I saw those. Those were cool.
And the coolest part is when someone sees it for the first time, and they just bawl.
Yeah,
they take a picture. We have heroes at every level, though. You have a lot of military. We have former mayors, and whatever people say, that mayor job is hard.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it.
So what's amazing to me, and I've had this conversation before, is it is so much harder to be a local political figure than it is to be a regional or national figure, because, you're going to get 100,000 people at the regional level yelling at you, but locally, it's a very vocal 100 that are going to tell you how bad you are every day.
Yeah.
And you aren't,
And you're just in the community shopping, and all of a sudden somebody tells you, there's the stop sign. We need a stop sign here. And you're just like, oh.
You're right. How important is it to encompass all embodiments of business, from the government side of things to even municipal sides of things, with simple ordinances and code changes, all the way up to innovative changes in terms of tech, in terms of just logistical changes? You're in tune to all of it.
You have to be. You have to have a pulse on the community, and I feel like that we do a really nice job of that, because we listen. Now with the pandemic, it was tougher, but do you know that we called every single chamber member during the pandemic to make sure they're okay? I've never cried with people more than I cried with them. So,
and what I think's really cool is just the advocacy that you all do. And going back to that, because I was talking, and because we do so many political interviews on the show because of the year it is, and right now, Dawn, better than anybody, there's business owners working 16-hour days because they can't fill jobs. And it's, not the argument anymore of, well, it's because they aren't paying anything. Right. They're given some huge incentives at some of these small businesses. I even know of one, you ready for this? $1,000 bonus if you just come to work every day of the week.
Dude, I come to work every day of the week.
Where's my bonus?
I'm going.
You know what I'm saying?
Apply.
But
I know what you're saying.
When you're having these conversations, what's your kind of message to maybe some business owners out there that are just frustrated because, the hard work is never going to stop when you love it and the passion's there, but whenever all the momentum starts to dry up, it's hard to motivate ourselves.
It is hard to motivate ourselves. And I think, taking a look at what are you doing differently than your competitor. Pay is important, don't get me wrong, but it's never the first thing. It's respect. It's, flexibility is great, and we all want that, but you can't have flexibility and work at home when you work at Dairy Queen. Yeah. It just, those aren't options. It's not an area. I will tell you, though, we lost $84,000 in 3 years over the pandemic.
Did you? I bet.
But guess what? We applied for this grant earlier this year. I didn't think we had a chance. We got the maximum $50,000.
That's incredible.
And it's, you can do whatever you want, but we put it in savings. But I'm going to say this. I called the governor's office and said, hey, I'd like to send him a thank you note. I'd like to handwrite it. Will he get it? And they said, do you want to meet him? Well, yeah, I want to meet him. And there I am. I met him. Oh, my gosh. It was just, about 6 weeks ago.
That's so cool.
Yeah, he was very, oh, my gosh, so present. So, the media is all waiting for him. He's just chatting, and just a conversation like we're having today. I couldn't believe it.
That's so cool.
I just thought, wow.
So, getting back to the chamber side of things, because we're getting ready to talk all about this wonderful event coming up. Yeah. You guys have always an opportunity for folks to go out, learn more, be a part of it, and just join in on the fun. Fill me in on the opportunities. I know we just talked about the 40th birthday party of Dawn, and I mean the chamber.
Oh my! Long time ago. That was a long time
when
ago.
is the 40th birthday party again?
The 40th birthday party, September 21st, downtown Troy. You will see this week. I did all my videos already. We're editing them so that we can promote them. But I'm so excited about this electric car show. Like, we want to do different things than people do, and that was our big thing. And when I heard that, I'm like, great, I've never seen one. I mean, have you seen one?
No.
Yeah.
I don't know
I can't
how
even
this
wait.
is
Like,
gonna
I don't
look.
even know.
So, well, I got to tell you this. I had the Wienermobile on the show the other day.
I know.
Did you see that thing got flipped over in Chicago?
I know.
I think it was because of me. So I don't want to talk to the
It was 'cause of
electric.
you?
Yeah, I have a bad omen about me
I
lately.
brought the chamber mobile today. Don't go outside and look at
I'm
that
not
chamber
touching
mobile.
it. I was thinking I was going to talk to the electric car show, but I don't want. A little
Have
dangerous.
you seen our chamber mobile?
No.
Oh no, you have not. Oh my gosh, we have a it's green. It's wrapped green. It's got all of our investors on it.
Oh my gosh, that is
Yeah.
incredible.
And we bought it, and here we have it. I do want to mention, because we don't want to run out of time.
Yeah.
Do you know what we're doing tomorrow night?
Yes. Troy Summer Camp on the count.
I remember all my life.
I don't.
Okay. You forgot, Mr. Manilow? Come on. Dude, interview's over. Oh.
I said it. I'm so in my zone right now. I'm in work, because we were talking. I've been hit with something fierce.
Yeah, bad.
And I'm looking at the calendar. I'm like, the 25th. I'm literally. I went to the 25th, and I'm like, well, you got a Troy Summer Camp.
Let me put Barry on there.
We're gonna be seeing Barry Manilow, and he's gonna say, "And nothing is right without CJ." I love you, Don. Oh, Barry, we're going to see you tomorrow. But, coming up in just a couple of minutes, we're going to be talking to Gary and John, correct?
Gary and John.
And we're going to learn all about this really cool barbecue event that's coming up in just a couple of weeks. It's crazy how this summer has flown on by. More so than last year. It's because it's not as hot, I think.
The cooler weather's so beautiful.
Oh
Come on,
my
just sit on the back and
Get out of here.
enjoy. And it's
Oh,
nice.
man. Well, we're going to be learning more about the Smoke In for the Kids Barbecue Festival coming up on August the 17th, the 2-year and 1-day mark of the show starting.
Yeah.
Really cool. Hey, before we take a quick break, I got to fill you in on Grid Solar. They're a wonderful company, and we just started a brand new segment with them, learning all about the solar industry on the first and third Monday of each and every month. And what I like about Grid Solar is that the partnership of Ryan and Jason is really cool. I mean, Jason knows everything about the industry, stays on top of all the nuances. Now with the net metering change that Ameren just implemented, you're going to be losing a significant amount of savings if you don't lock in that solar build before September 1. I say that because they have so many projects. Winter happens, and it's dangerous to get on that roof in December and November.
Yes.
You don't want to lose that opportunity, because the way it's looking, you heard Ryan and Jason both on this show say it, and another solar company on my show say it, that the opportunities to save big are going to start dwindling further and further down throughout the next couple of years. Call Ryan and Jason. Get hooked up with them. They work on both sides of the river at Grid Solar LLC. You can start by going to their website, get your free solar design, and they do pergolas.
Oh, I like that.
They have a pergola specialty. You can start all of that process today by going to gridsolarllc.com, and don't forget to tell them that you know who sent you over their way.
Get paid to go solar. We're not solar bros. At Grid, we're solar pros. We explain the process behind solar power so you can make an informed decision. We'll work with you to make owning your power as simple as possible and affordable with zero down financing and payment options. Our only goal is to save you money. Call Grid when you're ready to be independent of the power company.
I had an amazing experience with Dr. Haug and her team. I came here when I was 10 years old to get my braces on. Now I'm 28 years old, braces off, and I get so many compliments on my smile. It's helped me thrive in my career as a news reporter, and also as Miss Missouri USA, I took the stage with confidence, knowing my smile was gonna make me look like $1 million. I've never felt better and more confident because of my smile.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof because they know your house is home base for their dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, ready? Future rocket scientist, or a budding prima ballerina. When you feel totally protected, your family's free to pursue their dreams. She's good.
Let's go.
American Family Insurance.
No matter the season, Played Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Played Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store, Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville. Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
We're just playing some ELO for John. You know, I figured, you know, all over the world, because, you know, all over the world we know about the great work that the Shriners do for just everybody. And, you know, now that you guys are in studio, I heard through the grapevine that this potentially, I don't want to say it is because I'm always wrong when I say that, potentially could be the radio podcast live show debut of Gary and John. Is this correct?
I can't speak for Gary, but yeah.
Well, here we go. So, folks, if you're just tuning in at 10:39, coming up on August the 17th is the Smokin' for the Kids Barbecue Festival 2024. This is a jam-packed event. How do we start this bad boy off? This is an encyclopedia of one.
Yes, it is. We started noon on Saturday with our opening ceremonies, and we have the Triad High School dance team coming out dancing. We have the choir. I hope they're coming out to sing the national anthem for us. We present the colors, and then the competition begins.
This is really cool. And what, right off the bat, what's the purpose of this competition? What is the mission of it?
Well, it's a festival with a competition. I mean, the purpose, of course, is to help raise money for our shrine activities. But it is a professional barbecue competition. It's a backyard barbecue competition. It's a state cook-off association competition, plus everything for the public. I mean, we'll have vendors, bounce houses, axe throwing, bags tournament, hopefully. We're trying to keep that one together.
Nice.
All the vendors, all the food vendors are current or former competition competitors. So it's actual competition food as opposed to the processed stuff you get from some of the barbecue places.
See, I'm nervous about going because I don't know if I'll ever be able to eat my barbecue again.
Well, we're hoping not.
So what I think's really cool about this is, I mean, just the competition side of it alone, because, man, seeing some of the ins and outs on how some of these teams really put their meals together and how their processes work, it's a science. I mean, it's a true science. And now, whenever you go up there, though, what's the process look like for you guys? Are you official taste testers that day?
Oh, no, unfortunately not.
Oh, man. How do we decide who wins?
Well, the judges will do that. Kansas City Barbecue Society, it's sanctioned by KCBS. They bring in all the judges.
Are you serious?
State Cook-Off is sponsored by the SCA Association, so they'll bring in their own judges as well.
I'll be damned.
So unfortunately for the public, they really can't sample what the competitors are cooking and turning in.
Okay.
The number one, they're not cooking enough to give away or sell. Number two, they don't have health permits to be putting out food. So the food that the people will taste will come from our vendors.
No, that's still fine, though, because you're at least seeing, just to see the process of it alone, it's a cool competition to be a part of.
It is.
How did that come together? Was there a contact you had within the organization, or how did this come about?
Well, I've competed for years. I don't compete anymore. I stopped around COVID time, but I've competed for years. I know a lot of the teams. I know a lot of the people. This is our third year doing the event. We anticipate to have at least 25 pro teams out there, probably an equal number of backyard teams and an equal number of SCA teams.
I got to ask you now here, John. What's your specialty whenever you were in the competition mode?
We did very well with brisket. We were 8th in team of the year in brisket one year.
That's cool,
for the summer. So yeah, our brisket was pretty good. Our ribs were pretty good. Pork and chicken, we kind of limped along, but did a good job with them. But I'd say ribs and brisket. We held our own.
Well, this is really cool. I also saw that there's a Rods and Ribs car show a part of this day. What are we going to be seeing out there?
That's on Sunday afternoon, and that is the Rods and Ribs car show. Has over 100 cars there. There's going to be farm implement, farm tractors as well.
That's cool.
Jeeps. It's their third year with us. Their 5th or 6th year doing it overall. We do several other car shows throughout the year.
Can I ask you a question? Now, when we're talking farming equipment, is it going to be a lot of newer farming equipment, or are we going to see some vintage tractors in there?
We're going to have a little of both.
That is really cool.
So we have I can't remember the company that's bringing out their implements, the new ones to show off, and we have vintage tractors that are going to be in the car show.
That is so cool.
I think the car show is Saturday too, is it not, Gary?
No, it's Sunday.
Sunday.
They're not going to have cars there on Saturday at all?
No.
Oh, okay, my bad.
That's all good. Well, I'm looking here. Your entertainment lineup's fantastic as well. I mean, some of these bands I've heard of that are just really cool. So coming up, folks, let me give you this. August the 17th, 12:30 to 2:30, American Bluegrass Drive. 3:30 to 5:30, Joints 22, great band name. And then 6 to 10 p.m., the Blue Marlin Band on the 17th. And then on the 18th, for 4 hours, you got White Trash I know a few of those. Okay, this is the band. Oh, okay.
No, Blue Marlin, Scott Marlin, I mean, this is his third year playing our event. I mean, he's a very well-known local.
Yeah.
In fact, he's in the Styx, the Grand Illusion. He plays in that cover band as well. And also our Shrine Brass Band will be playing a set with Scott, and the band loves it. They do a tremendous job.
Man, that's cool as heck.
They do a lot of Chicago type stuff, and they just blend together very, very well. You'd think they've been playing together forever.
And that would be the I-Night Brass Band.
Really cool.
Is their name.
You know how at this point, now that we're 3 events in so far, this is year number 3, correct? Mm-hmm. How easy is it for these guys just to say, hey man, what date and time is this coming up again, and when am I going to be there?
It's relatively easy.
That's what
we book them whenever we're done Saturday with Scott. We'll be like, all right, we're putting you on the books for next year because it happens the 3rd weekend in August every year. So
yeah, Scott's been booked since the last one ended.
Are you serious?
Yeah, oh, absolutely, yeah.
And as we're talking about the day overall, what can folks expect the moment that the gates open on the 17th?
We'll have a bounce house village, multiple bounce houses for the kids to play in if you get a wristband. We have a bags tournament starting. The first band playing, American Bluegrass, is led by one of our very own, Wayne Miles.
Nice.
So it's nice to have our
Bluegrass is
playing.
a great genre. I mean, there is nothing better than good bluegrass music.
It is hard to beat some good bluegrass.
You know what I'm saying? That is incredible. And coming up, too, how do we sign up for the bags tournament? Can we get our teams a part of this?
Absolutely.
Yes, we are signing up the day of, and we are working on getting a link up on our
Facebook
page, not our Facebook page, on our
website.
And we are on. So our person who was running our bags tournament backed out on us last week, unfortunately, due to unforeseen circumstances. We're trying to figure out where we were at on that. He had it on, I think it's called Cornholio, which is a bags app that you can download.
That's an incredible app.
It's very interesting.
Well,
we're working on that. If you call, leave a message on the website or call one of the numbers, we'll hook you up.
So if you're looking at my screen here right now, folks, go to smokinforthekids.com, and this is the homepage where you can get some of those event details, learn more about the Rods and Ribs Car Show, and then if you're, of course, in the Backyard Series or Pro Series and you still need to register, you can click these links, and then there will be a link for bags on here as well.
Yes. Eventually there will be, yeah. And the Facebook page is the same, Smoking for the Kids.
Really cool.
And there is plenty of time for any backyard people. If you're
Is there
excited
really?
and you want to get into barbecuing, you bring out your Weber or whatever you want to bring out. And
I got
fire
my
it up.
big green egg.
And what does the backyard people cook? It's
The
a
backyard
set-
people will cook chicken and ribs. It's a great way for them to experience competition barbecue without going all in.
Can I not to cut you off, but you know a little bit more about this than most. Take me through what it's like to really be a part of a competition team, because man, that's a fun process.
Where do you start? I mean, you actually start prepping for a competition probably at least a week out. You know, yeah, I mean, because you're trimming your meat, you're getting it ready. Chicken has to be trimmed in a certain way to make it look presentable. Yeah, most of the teams I know, by Tuesday night, they've got all their meat prepped and ready to go for a competition the coming weekend. So yeah, it's a bit of a process, but it's a lot of fun. Most of the teams now are cooking hot and fast as opposed to low and slow. So a lot of them will spend the day Saturday just enjoying the festivities and not actually start cooking until early Sunday morning.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Man, that's so cool.
There are still a handful of teams that do the low and slow and will cook overnight. So it's a personal preference for whatever whoever the team is.
And that is an interesting thing about the whole barbecue competition, because the best time to walk around the competition area, we've got a whole parking lot where the professional and the backyard people, they're all kind of interacted, is late Saturday night, early Sunday morning, because that's when they're all doing their stuff, getting the meat prepped the right way and their grills warmed to the right temperature and all of that stuff. And you can learn a few secrets if you watch close and don't ask too many questions.
Well, I also saw that there's going to be beer drink vendors, ice cream truck. Now, is there still a petting zoo in the kids area?
There is.
Oh,
there is, and it is newly upgraded. They've built some new structures around it. It was very nice always to start with, and it's even better now.
Man, that's so cool. Plus, on Sunday, that Rods and Ribs Car Show, live music, bags tournament on Saturday, that farm implement display part of that Sunday as well.
Scavenger hunt. Yeah, Jeep Run scavenger hunt that starts and ends at the event.
How does that work?
Local bars. They're going to go out to local bars looking for items.
So you show up to our event, you register, you get in your Jeep, you go to 5 or 6 local bars. Lyle's, Boogie's is on the list.
Wooden Nickel and Glen
Wooden
Carville.
Nickel, I
Wonderful
believe, is
spot.
on the list. You go and you have to find something there.
All I need is a raisin, and now I can drink. I'm telling you this.
You finish up, you come back, and you listen to music and have some beers and barbecue.
Now, take me through some of the vendors that'll be on hand if you have them on top of the head.
Yeah, vendors are, like I said, everybody that's vending barbecue is somebody that used to compete or still does compete. My team is actually vending as well.
Oh.
We're barbecue posse, but I won't be out there cooking. My son will run the team.
Nice, man. That's cool.
Rods and Ribs is actually vending as well. Tongue Punch Barbecue is going to be out there.
Which that is Keith Underwood.
He's one of our members.
As well.
Yeah,
He's well known.
Cool.
A little off target is the Taco Shack.
They're good.
Oh, they're great. I know the owner personally and vend with him all over the place. He's there for sure.
He's been on the show before. He's wonderful.
Yeah, the Troy Lions will be there selling bratwurst. Then we've got some kettle corn, snow cones, shake-ups, even street corn. We got a street corn vendor coming this year.
Get out of here. You can't go wrong with some good street corn.
We're going to have lemonade shake-ups, and there's going to be a hookup with our beer vendor, which happens to be Time Out of Troy. Ann's a great person. She takes great care of us. And the park, because she's over a big part of the park. But anyway, You can go there and get a little...
Well, the shake-up is going to be right next to Ann's stand, so if you want an alcoholic shake-up, they'll just hand it off, and Ann will finish it off.
Oh, there we go.
Adult lemonade.
Quit enticing me here. Quit enticing me. Well, real quick, for more information, we've already been talking for almost 20 minutes here, and we got one more interview to get to, but we're going to do a write-up on this on RiverBender.com and link every detail, so all of you guys that are tuning in now will be able to get all that information, and it'll be a part of our daily email update where you and those 70,000 will get it at 7:30 at some point throughout the rest of this week. For more information on this event and the Shrine Club overall, what's the best way to get these details?
Probably the Facebook page or the website.
So Smoking for the Kids is our Facebook page, is our website. We're also the Troy Edwardsville Shrine Club is what's behind all of this, makes it happen. So we also have a Facebook page.
Yeah, and the website is Smokin', and it's Smokin', SMOKN, for the kids.com.
Absolutely.
Not the N apostrophe that you see a lot of times. It's actually the word smoke and then N for the kids.com. Yeah, you can see details there if you go to the Facebook page and send messages through. We'll get them. Or email address is TESCBBQ for Troy Edwardsville Shrine Club Barbecue. Mm-hmm. So TESCBBQ@gmail.com.
Really cool. Well, guys, seriously, thank you so much for your time today. This was fun, and I can't wait to see you on the 17th and to have some fun, drink some good beer, and then, of course, have some awesome barbecue. For more information, smoke the letter N4 as it sounds, not the number, for the kids.com. That's smokein for the kids.com, or on the Facebook pages. We'll link it all in an article on RiverBender.com later this week. A quick break. We learn all about Fosterfest right after this on RiverBender Roku TV.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
RiverBender Radio has built 3 great new stations just for you in the Riverbend. The Eagle, the Riverbend's classic rock station. The Bridge, hit music for the Riverbend. And The River, today's country, and all your favorites. Check them out today at RiverBenderRadio.com.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Lennox system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
DJ Mike Keith.
This is where I am today. Let me show you where I started.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you've worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Munganast Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Munganast Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Munganast Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com. 10:58. We're going to go past 11 o'clock here. That's okay, because guess who made an uh-oh yet again? I'm telling you, those last couple of weeks, it's been pretty wild for me here. Dan, Mark, how are we doing? Fosterfest is coming up August the 3rd, and all of you are invited. This is the second year?
Second year.
Well, how'd the first one go?
Well, it went pretty good, and actually great turnout, but we hadn't had rain for 2 weeks, I think, leading up to it. And we had at 4:30, after all the sound was set up last year, and everything was set, tornado sirens went off.
Oh, that's right.
And it blew through, and we tore everything down, moved it to the barn, and we were still able to have it, and still a good turnout. But a lot of people said, hey, you know, we had trees down and limbs down, and we were all working at the house, didn't make it. So hopefully this year, everybody that didn't make it can do that.
The only reason I remember that is because I remember the fireworks display, not knowing what the hell was going on.
You're supposed to mention that. There could be one at the end of the last song. I don't know.
So I swear I will never forget that, because I'm like, what the hell? What fireworks show's going on?
Yeah.
And I came into work, and Brad was the first one. He goes, oh, no, it's Fosterfest.
Yeah.
I went, I'll be damned, I missed out on a good one.
But it went off without a hitch, and everybody seemed real pleased with it, and we're going to try and do it again.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Whenever you guys have developed this, what was the reason behind it?
Well, at the time, the golf course, of course, with my family members that own it and run it, and of course with Dan, it's an event that they wanted to bring people out to the golf course. So people that maybe didn't golf or knew it was there, that gives a little extra to it, and may realize that maybe they even like golf. See the venue, see what's there. We did have a pretty national act last year. Mo Pitney came from Nashville, songwriter, singer, did a wonderful job, and we were just pleased. But we're trying to build it to where, you know, the community gets to come to an event that you don't have to drive to St. Louis or Springfield. You can come right to your hometown right there and see somebody.
And Woodlands is a fantastic facility for this type of an event.
Well, we got a great great little event space up there with the pavilion, kind of overlooking the valley with 1-9 and the newly established driving range that we're piecing together in there. So, I mean, it was really kind of it's an awesome setting to go see a concert, for sure.
Totally. And I mean, I don't know too much about these rider guys. Is that Glendale?
Glendale Riders.
Oh, the Glendale Riders will be playing.
Headed up by Steve Schwagel and Jeff Benson plays the guitar.
Can't wait to see him again, you know? But seriously though, guys, this is so cool because, you know, not only, when everyone's heard the live read I do for McCreary on August 9th, but to have really good country music is hard to find around here. And when you have Mo Pitney coming up last year, that was a hell of a draw.
Yeah.
But this year to have the Glendale Riders, who are just awesome, and of course you guys are
You're
great.
getting the best of the local country bluegrass right here at one venue, and hopefully a great night with it. So.
Now, how are you guys preparing for the set?
We're going to play first. And
Are you really?
Well, yeah. I mean, I never say that I open for anybody. I just play first.
Okay.
So the Harmons are going to play first, and then, of course, the Glendale Riders. And I think we're going to merge at the end and do a couple songs together. So,
No way.
Yeah, so it'll be a good
That'll
time.
be really cool.
You guys did that last year.
Yeah, with Mo, we did a couple
with Mo.
songs at the end, and everybody
Yeah.
seemed to really like
Oh,
it,
it
and
was
we're going to
awesome.
do that again.
There's nothing better than good bluegrass music.
That was kind of
man.
my introduction to it last year.
Was it
like,
really,
I had
man?
never heard of Mo
And you're
Pitney.
even coming back this year.
Absolutely,
That's
I'm gonna
right.
be there. But no, I had never heard, Mo Pitney. But that's, I'm not a big, into, new music or whatnot. But man, he was fantastic, Harmon. And when they played the end, it was a lot of fun, and it seemed like everybody really enjoyed
Had a lot of
themselves.
confidence.
Are you guys still taking sponsorships?
Yeah, we're going to do that this week. We've got some old sponsorships from last year, and we will, of course, do that again. I don't have the details exactly on that, but if they call up to the Woodlands, they can line them out if they want to do a sponsorship. Sure. We do a banner back behind the stage, and yeah.
That's really cool. And, sponsorships are available for $100, $250, or $500, and there's a lot of good benefits with those as well. And now, what time's it start on the 3rd?
I believe that the gates are going to open around 5, and I think we're going to kick it off at 7 o'clock, and then the Glendale Riders will follow. And the reason we're get 5 o'clock, bring your lawn chair, get there early. There's going to be food trucks, beverage tent, and then, of course, I think we're going to be doing some horse rides this year for the kids. That's included with the ticket and sales. So,
and ticket costs are $15 in advance, $20 at the door. That's and all that's in the ticket price.
That's right. And you can't hardly walk into Dollar General anymore and buy a bag of chips, a loaf of bread, and a soda for less than $15.
$6 General,
Yeah,
the $6 General.
Yeah.
I went on a rant. I thought I was going to be on Channel 11 like 3 weeks ago because I was by Family Dollar, and you walk in just because I was just walking by, and I thought, well, they have energy drinks there for $1 instead of paying for $3. It was $1.25, and I went nuts.
Yeah.
I seriously did.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because I have a psych issue. I don't know, but I just thought when you say dollar and you hit me with the $1.25.
Come on,
It's on,
Well,
man.
especially talking
It's
about
on.
being on TV, Channel 11, this has kind of got me a little thrown off today. I thought I was just going to be on the radio, and here I am being recorded with a camera. I thought it was like an interrogation room down here. I didn't know
Well, it is. Where were you 2.5 weeks in?
Come on, Anderson.
What food trucks are going to be out there?
Do you know the name?
Yeah,
Joe
we got
lined it out.
Pig on a Wing. I know.
Oh,
for
hell
sure
yeah.
Is going to be there. We've got a great reputation or a great relationship with Steve and Megan. They actually use our kitchen as a commissary there. I don't know the other one. I'm not sure if he actually has a name on the truck. I think it's just a gentleman that does it. But there might be a couple more that come in. We're kind of still exploring those options.
And
I think there was 3 or 4 last year.
Yeah, there
Probably
were
that would be that again this year.
That's cool, man. And now who does the horse rides?
Joe lined that out, and I don't have her name, but I wish I did so I could put it on.
I just wanted to give her
I
some
think
love.
Angie,
Yeah.
she's local. I'm pretty sure we just lined that out last week, so we know. We got a little track that we're going to take all the kids around, so it should be pretty cool.
I think I might even ride it once.
I'm probably going to ride it too.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool.
CJ, you got to ride it.
What's funny is I'm getting notes that are, from texters and stuff. And when you said it, I'm like, oh, yeah, that's fine. I didn't even think about it. I'm like, oh, yeah, Mark's going to be on that horse right now. Are you a good rider? Can you ride?
I'm not. I don't do well in a saddle. It typically just has to be bareback to ride along.
That's fine.
The way it is. Yeah.
Now, Dan, let me ask you this. Can people play that Saturday and kind of, when they're done with their 18s, kind of just grab their chair, stick around for a little bit?
Absolutely, yeah. We got plenty of availability. I don't think we have any events that day, which is kind of weird because we're with this fall.
So really, they can make a whole day of it.
They can make a whole day of it.
That's kind of my
for the event.
Yeah,
it's kind of my sales pitch.
Come out, play 18 holes, stick around for the show, and
there you go, man. A couple of
day
silver
out of it.
bullets during the 18, and all of a sudden you go eat the clubhouse for a little bit, gear up for the 5 o'clock, and then you got food trucks and vendors hitting you from there, and then you got the Harmons are really just what I think is fantastic is the Harmons are playing first just to make sure you get what you want. Because, I've never heard of these guys, and you got to be careful about new country bands, but the gentlemen, the Glendale Riders will be there. I've heard them once. Okay?
Yeah.
Are you going to...
Oh, yeah, they do a wonderful job.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Of course they're amazing. They played at the Alton Amphitheater, and they're wonderful. Steve does an awesome job. How quick of a phone call was it to him to get him to come out?
It seemed like there was some excitement there. We told him he'd have to keep his shoes on. He was that excited. I think he kicked him off there before the phone conversation was over. Yeah.
Now, how do you guys prepare for your shows?
Well, a lot of cough syrup. Typically is what we try to take in, get calmed down before the show. And
Stop!
No,
Don't do that to me, man. I'm like, hell, I like this.
So actually, last year we had our banjo player Mason Rubel. He actually passed away this past year in a car accident. That played banjo with us. He was a good friend of my cousin Wyatt Harmon, who'll be playing the bass with us. And so a little sad that didn't transpire again, and we sure miss him. This year, we're going to have a fiddle player that plays with us, Karina Logston, and her husband will be playing the banjo, along with my brother John and my cousin Wyatt Harmon. So we'll be playing that, and I think my mom and dad might come up and do a number with us, too. The Harmon family is, of course, originated with them, and now us next generation play, and my girl's going to come up and sing one, so it's kind of a family affair. So
you know what's cool? I've done like 1,000 interviews, I think, at this point in the 2 years, and I've had your mom on the show before talking about this when you guys played at Hathaway Hall.
Oh, okay. All right. Great.
Really cool. Now, for more information, am I forgetting any details on this, guys?
I don't think so.
I think we kind of...
I think you've named things off that we didn't know while we were sitting here, CJ.
Caught in the dark here.
Really cool.
Of course, I've been nervous with this camera on me. I don't even know where it's at. But
it's back. I got a lot of city miles, so the further away, the better,
I've been told that I've got a great face for radio, so it kind of threw me off when I seen the cameras and stuff. I thought, well... We'll make it through it, I guess.
You definitely got the voice for it.
Oh,
you got the voice.
People told me, they go, CJ, you got the voice of a librarian. With that being said, I'll see you at Fosterfest on August the 3rd. We'll write up everything again on RiverBender.com in case you miss it. But Dan, Mark, always good chatting with you.
And I want to say, too, CJ, that we are just ecstatic with what you guys do here at RiverBender. John and the team and everybody, you do great for promoting community events, and it's just wonderful.
Really cool. Thanks, guys. On that note, have a good day. Try your best to stay out of jail.
All right.